Bwana Mungu, ona wanaobeba mizigo ya kuwa kwamba yamekuwa magumu maisha yo. Omoche oyo Yerusalem nigo okomeka nigo achabire buna omoriakari.
Nakumbuka kisa cha kale nilipokuwa mkosaji nikiwa gerezani nikisubiri.
We want to welcome you once again to Syria Ushindi, and this is Hope Channel Kenya. I'm so happy you're watching. Don't go away even after this program, because there is so much for you. You don't have to spend time on things that don't help you. Hope Channel Kenya is here to build your life. And today we have a very special group here. They are talking about things that really build a Christian. You know what? When you become a Christian, and an Adventist for that matter, you don't just sit at the pews and don't do nothing. God is calling you to join others in doing so much for Him, even around your neighborhood. So again, I just want to remind you that we have Sister Doris Kenyanya here. She's the chair of Adventist laypersons and service industry. Such a long thing to say, but it's about lay people that are serving the Lord voluntarily, that they give their money, they give their time, they give their food, their clothes, anything that they have that can change someone's life. And they have told us in the first part that this movement is for every Adventist member. And they mentioned some registration fee, but the thing is that shouldn't put you away. You can actually bring your chicken to them. I know they know what to do with it. And you become a member. The thing is, they simply want to have your name. And that shows that you are committed. You know, you just can't be committed by sending a text message. And so I want to welcome them again to the second part. Elder Njoroge is here, Elder Manyaga is here, Elder Maraga is here. They are just talking about this beautiful movement that has come. It's been there. How long has it been there, Elder Njoroge?
We started it 2002.
2002. That's quite a long time. And it has grown even to have a chair lady, as you can see. That tells you that this movement also includes women. Now we want to come to a few other things that I think are very critical. Does ASI discriminate? I'm sorry to use that word, but do you look at people's educational backgrounds, or does it take anybody who is a member of the Adventist Church and they're in good and regular standing? Mr. Manyaga.
ASI, Advent Layperson Services and Industries, encompasses and then welcomes anybody on board from the church. As you heard earlier, the member must be a member of the church, a good person, a regular standing in the church. So because at the end of the day, the church is the one to recommend that person, that we know this person is a member here. Mm-hmm. So the person comes on board as a member. He pays the membership fee. So now he continue meeting the sessions of the ASI. When we meet, he attends.
Okay.
Yes.
So the qualification is that you're in good and regular standing.
Yes.
You don't say you stopped in class 8 and you have a PhD.
No.
It doesn't matter.
No. What we have
Okay.
said is you take Christ to the marketplace.
Okay.
Where you are earning your living.
Mm-hmm.
Remember the person who is selling the vegetables on the ground there?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah?
Mm-hmm.
The Bible says, how are people seeing you? What letter are you sending outside there? When they see you there, are they saying this person belongs to that church and that church is a good church? Or they are saying, don't associate with this person, the character is different from the church is attending. So right from the church down to where you are selling your wares, you must present the name of Christ in the manner it should be.
Okay. So the underlying thing here for ASI, as I speak now to Maraga, is that what you are trying to put in the member is that wherever you are serving, whatever you do as your activity for the day that brings you income or not, that is your mission field first and foremost. Is that what we are saying? We are not just telling them that you need to go to Turkana to preach. We are not telling them to take food to another part of the country, but we are saying that when I'm selling my tomatoes in Kisii Market, that the person selling next to me should see a difference between me and the other person. Is that what we are saying? And if that is what we are saying, Mr. Maraga, how do you train this member to get to that point where they turn their sphere of influence into a mission field? What kind of training do you give them? Is it just the ASI Sabbath, or do you have special programs whereby you meet this member and help them to understand their role in the society?
I will start by mentioning the conventions which we held.
Okay.
Those conventions, we make a program in terms of seminars. And these seminars, they are not ordinary seminars. They are unusual seminars. That's why even the theme of our upcoming convention is business unusual. We want to approach God's work in a very different way, which can impact spiritually even those ones who are not ready to receive Jesus Christ. So the approach which we give to train these people so that they can be a very important member in terms of the laity, in terms of being SI members. One, they are members who have experience in terms of sharing Christ in the marketplace. One, they have schools. Two, they have hospitals. Three, they have businesses, various businesses. And others, they have personal ministries. So when we meet at the convention, we share broadly how my ministry is impacting on the spiritual members on where I'm living. Secondly, if I have an hospital, how I'm using my Adventist hospital, which I've come up with, to impact on spiritual or members who attend that hospital. If it's a school, those students who graduate from that school, which testimony do they have that you as a director, as an ASI member, you're impacted on them? So when we share these experiences, in the process, we get to train these new members. Okay. They borrow the idea, they go and start their own schools, and they use the same idea also to share Christ in the marketplace. That's the approach which you use, first in the conventions. Secondly, these ones trickle down to chapters now. When chapters have their various activities, they are Sabbaths, they share their testimonies in their chapters. And through that also, they train their members on how they are supposed to share Christ in the marketplace. That's the approach which we have used, and I'm seeing it's successfully reaching the members and enriching them to reach people on their capacity where they are living. Yeah.
Doris?
Yes.
When is the convention?
The convention will be from 21st of November. That is, we are reporting in the evening. It will be 22nd, 23rd, and 24th at ECD, Eastern Central Africa Division Headquarters. That's where we'll be holding our convention for 2018.
And how much will it cost an individual?
We have different rates because we have negotiated with in the guest house, both the ECD guest house and the university. There is sharing of a room, half board, total with the registration. We want people to pay a registration of 1,000 shillings.
Okay.
That will take care of all other logistics. But accommodation and half board, that's breakfast and lunch, total will be 8,200.
For the whole time?
Yes. If you are sharing. If you are not sharing, it will go to 11,200. So we have different classes. We'll put it up in the advertisement. We already have the program on ASI Kenya chapter WhatsApp, and we're still reaching out to more people to know that you can actually come. If you are hard pressed, you can stay with a neighbor across the road and pay the 1,000 registration money. Of course, then you pay for the lunch because you'll take lunch there. We have negotiated with them. Lunch will be 450. That's a negotiation that we have done so that we can have many more people attend the convention. This convention, we have prayed about it, and we believe the Lord is going to bless us because we want to do business unusual. If I've been praying twice, 3 times a day, I have to change how my prayer life has got to be. I have to change the way I'm doing business. You know, we are saying as an ASI member, if you are selling vegetables, you got them cheap today. Don't ask for a profit that is stealing from your customers. People should see the difference. How are you serving these people? What are your prices? That people can say, if you want to get nice tomatoes, go to so and so. Because that is the way of preaching Christ. Your lifestyle preaches Christ to many. And how you are handling your customers, the margin profit should be minimal if you are sincere in what you are doing.
Doris, I just want to ask you, now that you are the chair, what is the percentage of women that have registered as ASI members?
I think we are almost half-half. The ladies, you know, our Adventist church, basically the ladies are more than the men. So we still have a big number of ladies who are members, and I met some ladies who are so excited for the first time. They are coming to the convention this year, as we were talking to them at the Nairobi International Show.
And having mentioned the show, maybe your team members know that you were very active in giving literature. And, you know, giving 2 books, The Great Hope and The Story of Hope.
And The Power of Hope.
And The Power of Hope. How did you generate that money within a short time? Because I could see the books are running out, and then I see you come with another carton.
I thank God that the members, that's why these members are ready to be spent.
Amen.
So what happened after we agreed that we are joining up, within a day, I called a few members, the officials. I told them we are going to the Nairobi International Show, and for us to tell people about Christ, the non-Adventist should be given a book. And we actually gave out a total of 135 books of the Great Hope, the Story of Hope, and the Power of Hope. And I added a Bible to one family, and I've agreed with some of them. I'll be making a follow-up how far they have gone with the reading of the book. We have all the contact. We have 206
Amen.
mobile numbers that we need to reach them during this time. We'll keep in touch with them. And I thank God for that opportunity Hope Channel gave us to join up in that one.
Oh, you're very welcome. Elder Njoroge, having been in ASI perhaps longest, do you have any success story that you want to share with us? Something that you can say, this one ASI did?
Yes, we have quite a number of success stories, which the ASI has really succeeded. Because initially, when the ASI came to Kenya, of course, the lay people, we were in the church anyway, we were members of the church, but when we learned about the ASI, and we realized how much they can be able to do, we realized that actually it was a sleeping giant. There are people who can do wonders in Christ. And we started now looking at the churches even started looking for us because they saw that we are trying to smell where we can get something to do for God. And finally, I remember by that time I was in Western Kenya, and there was a big problem in Mount Elgon. And when we are there, we were called by the conference. What can you do about the lay people now? Because now you are the leaders of the lay people. What can you do? You know, we had to go to our knees to pray. Because those people had rebelled, they had refused to return the tithe. There were differences between the members and the clergy. Now, we had to come in between to broker the peace. And now we said, now, we have never done this before. So we came to our knees, we prayed, and that's the time when we realized God can work with anybody. Because when we prayed, and we went to see those people, we had a big meeting with them, telling them the way we cannot fight with the church. And we say even if there's a difference, it can be solved in a different way. How we were getting the words to tell them is God who was leading us. And finally, I remember in the last, because we had about 2 days, the last day, we had about 50% saying we want to go back to church.
Amen.
And then because they had retained the tithe, they wanted to give us the tithe. Part of 50% they would have wanted to give us, take the tithe. We told them, no, we don't take the tithe ourselves. That's a whole thing that is only handled by the people who have been chosen to do that. And we prayed with them, and finally, we had to read the books. We had to talk the way the Lord would have led us. And at the end of it, those people came back to church, all of them, and were led by the ASI group to go to the field, meet the leaders, and they came carrying the tithe, which they had held for quite some time. And we said, this is not we. We realized that God can be able to work with anybody. So from there, in fact, by that time, I want to remember that it had even been announced on the radio that they were to be disbanded. Those churches were to be disbanded because they had rebelled. But using simple people, God was able to intervene, and they were not disbanded. I remember when we went to the conference, and taking those, they said we meet with them because we had to be in the middle, because they were not seeing one-to-one. I remember it was quite an emotional meeting, that even some people were shedding tears, having remembered how they had really pulled and pushed one another and so on. Therefore, that was one of the success stories that we really remember. The church which were to be disbanded, they were brought back like a lost son. Thereafter, other stories, I remember when we were there. I remember the area we were, we realized the area, people were very poor, and they needed help. Of course, our money was little, was not really much that you could be able to help. Me, I decided I moved. I have friends in many places. I went to Britain to look for friends, and I got a friend. I went and made a friend. He wasn't a friend. She wasn't a friend because I met her in the church, and I told them the problem we're having with some of the communities who are really very poor, and the children are not going to school, and they require to go to school, and we can do very little because our resources are meager.
Yeah.
So one of the ladies who was in the churches, I was talking because I knew somebody actually who introduced me to talk to the church. At the back seat, they were listening. I told them that we have children who do not even know where they are going to get the next meal. And, I was just talking carelessly, not knowing whether the word will meet, somebody will get what I'm saying. At the end of it, when we finished the meeting, a lady came, an old lady came, and told me, Francis, would you like having a lunch with me? I said, no, I wouldn't mind. So we had lunch. She told me, what you have talked about those children who do not know where to get the next meal and who are not really going to school, I want you to go and look for 10-acre plot. I want to put a school for those children.
Okay.
I thought maybe the lady did not understand. She thought the lady here is normally go for very cheap prices. They told her maybe we get 5 acres because the land there will cost about £1,000. And she told me, no, 10 acres would be more ideal. Then I knew she knew what she was saying. And within 3 months, we went and got a plot, 8-acre plot. I called her. She sent the money to me, and she told me I'm coming. She came. We bought a plot, 8 acres, and after buying a plot for 8 acres, she put a school. She put one big structure, and she put a school. We started from baby class to standard 8.
So the school is there?
The school is there. In fact, we have people right now, we can say, who are in Nairobi University, actually students from that school. And I want to say humbly that we realized, when we started, of course, people were a bit skeptical. They were wondering, what is this? Because we are giving free education. But those who came, they started learning, and later on, when they became many, then we decided to charge some little fees. Now, we couldn't be able to accommodate all of them because the classes were few and so on. But I want to say, with what happened, that one became a ministry, because now even people around, even those who are not Adventists, they came to realize these are the people to go with.
Amen.
And this succeeded because of that lady. And one time she told me, and we learned from one another. We ASI, we learned from one another. That's when he talked about the convention. When in the convention, when people give testimonies, we learn, we say, wow, so this can happen. So this one time came, and she told me from the time she started supporting that ministry, the school is called Donald Romeo Academy. From the time she started supporting that academy, her business, she's a business lady. She's a business lady from Caribbean. She told me from the time she started, her business actually started growing bigger. She told me now they are bigger than they were. I remember buying that plot and putting up the school. It wasn't little money. Because I remember the plot, we bought it about 1 million shillings. Then later on, we bought another 20 acres closer to the school. And all that was coming from her.
Wow. So you see, you will be making a very wise decision to join ASI. Not only will you learn, but you'll be used of God. And we want to encourage you to register with ASI as they plan for a convention in the next few months. Actually, it's the next month. And as they say, if you have a relative around Ongata Rongai, Nairobi, or not too far from Ongata Rongai, you can just pay 1,000 shillings and also find money for lunch and join this beautiful team here as they minister to each other and as they share with others the success stories like what we are finishing with. Now, if you want to join, their number is available. It will be running on the screen. Please feel free to find them. They're in different chapters. That means they're in different regions. They have a region in Kisii, another one in Nyamira, Nakuru, Mombasa, in Nairobi. So feel free to contact them so that you know exactly how to go about it. Thank you so much for joining Hope Channel Kenya. We look forward to having you in our next show. And please keep watching Hope Channel Kenya. And until then, God bless you. Thank you so much for coming. It's been a pleasure hosting you. We look forward to seeing more people registering with ASI. And we do hope that you guys will come again and partner with Hope Channel Kenya in producing good programs. I guess that's part of your mission.
Yes.
You're very welcome.
Thank you.
Thank you.